This is another video for the Walther PPX pistol, which is this pistol right here. And we're going to cover the loading and unloading procedure for range use. The reason why for range use is that way you look good on the range and you're making people feel comfortable. So the first step in any loading and unloading type procedure would be to know the condition of the gun. And knowing the condition is by checking the chamber. So you open up the gun and you see whether something is in there, and you can feel up into the magazine well to see that that is also empty. So you have determined that your gun is empty. That way you're not trying to load an already loaded gun. So in this deal, we're going to use a magazine, and we're going to use a couple of dummy cartridges. These ones are like from Brownells. They don't have a primer and they don't have powder, so that they are inert. So they're just metal, and they are the correct size to be able to be fitting in your chamber. So I've loaded them into the magazine so we can kind of demonstrate what the loading and unloading procedure looks like. You don't actually need these to do any practice, but it kind of shows you what it looks like when you have live ammo. So the loading procedure being starting with a chamber check. I'm going to check inside the chamber, and I'm going to check the mag well. It's empty. I take a loaded magazine. I get it in my hand to where I'm pressing it forward out of the palm of my hand, and I'm aiming it with my index finger. I'm going to rotate into the magazine well so that I can run it right and left into the, rotate it so that it's flat or aligned with the magazine well in all four directions, or two axes, whatever you want to call it. I'll rotate it into position, insert it all the way forcefully, and pull I do a hand over technique to retract the slide, and then I'm going to let go of it. And then in letting go, I've got all the pressure still to hold it rearward, and I release the fingers. That way I almost hit myself every single time. That's how you know you did it right. You're operating the pistol as close to the way it would operate if it was firing, with live ammunition at the kind of speed that it's going at. It does its own thing. You're not helping it. So you don't just follow it forward. So after that loading procedure, I would retract the slide a little bit to peek in and make sure that I did get something into the chamber. It's a little bit hard to tell because these are black instead of brass colored, but I can see it's in there. I see my magazine is inserted fully. My ammunition is straight in there and not all crooked, or it'd be like, sometimes it'll stick out a ways like that. I don't know if you can see that, and it needs to be pressed back to the backwards portion of the magazine. So now the gun is loaded. I would be firing, right? When I'm done and the gun isn't already empty and locked open, the unloading procedure on a gun, whether you're firing or not, if it's loaded, I would check to make sure that it's loaded, right? Pull the magazine out. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see the ejection port. I'm going to retract the slide to the rear and get the dummy round, in that case, out. I'm not going to trust that it is out or anything. We always do a little bit of a double check. It feels like you're an idiot, but you know what? It's less than shooting yourself feeling like an idiot. So I'm going to retract the slide a little bit, check into the chamber. I'm going to stick my finger inside the mag well to verify that it's empty, and then I can put the gun down in my holster or away, or wherever it is, like your range procedure, or if you're at home or whatnot. So you've double checked, triple checked that your gun is in fact empty. Okay, so that's the loading and unloading procedure, just kind of in a nutshell. So other videos are going to cover combat reloads, the stance and the shooting, dry practice, and everything else. So we'll see you in a little bit.